I don't want to miss the moment, so I'm going to try and rush away because I want us to try and get an idea as to what's going on here inside the ring with some truly American gospel that is taking place. And you talk about color, you talk about culture, you talk about flavor, you talk about a feeling and a taste to the city. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York, and welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour of New York 2025. A bit of local flavor here in New York for the Global Champions League as we welcome and listen to some incredible gospel music that's being sung for us here inside the ring. At every single stage of the Longines Global Champions Tour, we promise you something different, we promise you something unique, and that is an incredible example of exactly that. We're joined by one of our riders in the studio today. Duarte from the Saint-Tropez Pirates joins us to have a conversation as to what took place in GCL Round 1. Duarte, welcome. Talk to me about what happened in GCL Round 1. How did things go for you?
It wasn't a disaster, but it wasn't the result that we were looking for. It's been very intense weeks for us as a team. So this week we had Thibaut for the first time. I'm riding not very experienced horse, so I mean we did what we could.
Give me your thoughts on Thibaut. Still a very young man, very talented, very promising. What do you make of Thibaut?
No, it was a great addition for the team. Thibaut is a great talent, and we hope that he can give us some very good results to help the team to climb up as much as possible.
Do you know how many more Philipparts there are? I saw the two boys in the kiss and cry. There's another young one riding. Have they got any more waiting for you?
I can't really tell how many, but I can see a few Philippart faces. They all look the same.
I think it's fantastic to see the heritage and the family of the Philipparts. Not only do you have the Stockholm Hearts of Nicola and Olivier jumping the best double clear of the day, but then the young Thibaut Philipparts now coming through the ranks, jumping very nicely for Saint-Tropez Pirates. You stick with Cooper for round 2, correct?
Yes, this week I have Cooper as the main horse. Normally he's my second horse when he comes with Dourados, but because we have Vienna next week and Riesenbeck was last week, so the option was to bring Cooper for both rounds, and he was good on the first round with one down, and hopefully he will deliver a solid round on the second round.
Have you walked round 2 already, or not just yet?
I have, yeah.
Talk to me about what's happening in round 2. Course walk currently underway. The riders are busy doing their course walk. What did you see? What stands out for you?
I mean, it's nothing new for us. I mean, we more than halfway in the season, so but I mean the scenario here is incredible. The jumps are beautiful. It's big as usual, but I think this whole scenario here makes this very enjoyable, so hopefully the horses will enjoy as well and give us some good results.
Finally, is Thibaut speaking to you? Because I assume as a young man it's a good conversation to have. Always we hear the young riders are speaking to the more experienced guys. I don't know how much he takes from his brothers, how much he takes from you. Have you had time to speak to him? Are you two communicating a lot about what's happening, what you feel?
Yeah, I mean, Thibaut is a very good guy. I didn't know him so well before we started here, but I mean, he has his family, he's very much a horse family, so I'm sure he has lots of people to ask advices. Of course, if he needs some advice from me, I'm very happy to give him, but he's a great guy, and we're very happy to have him in the team.
We act as if Ludo isn't involved in the conversation as well. In case you don't know, the father, Ludo Philipparts, is a fantastic rider from years ago. In fact, the very first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix was Ludo Philipparts, and now we see the train of Philipparts boys that are jumping superbly well. Thank you Go and have
Thanks
a
very
good
much.
GCL round 2. Best of luck to the
Thanks
Saint-Tropez
very much.
Pirates. Let's show you then the results of GCL round 1. This is how things ended in New York. At the end of GCL round 1, we talk about those 3 double clears, but the day at the moment belongs to the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M Wheel of Horses. They are the best of the double clears, quicker than the lots, and because of that, they will be the last team to go in GCL round 2. Madrid Emotion will be just before them, and Razorback International. Don't they always seem to be climbing back? Don't they always seem to be getting championship points late in the season and make themselves championship contenders, if not at least top 4 GCL Super Cup semi-final contenders? The question now becomes, if things were to end the way they are, let's say that the Stockholm Hearts take home maximum points today. Madrid Emotion finish in second, Razorback International finish in 3rd place. If that were to be the scenario by the end of the afternoon, as we overlook the incredible Hudson that is now separating New Jersey and New York City on the other side, this is what the table would look like. Now, Falcons United, who on 16 penalties are all the way down the leaderboard, they would not take home a lot of points today, only 7, but they would still hold on to their lead. Falcons United will be very happy to have seen 2 fences fall for the Kunstars. That means maybe they escape some major drama. Prague Lions would find themselves in the same place. Riesenbeck would find themselves in the same place. There would be some movement, though, for Madrid Emotion and New York Empire. It'll be interesting to see the second page that has the Stockholm Hearts powered by H&M Wheel of Horses on it. Because with maximum points in and around the bottom of the table, what is the change then for the Stockholm Hearts, as they then would shoot all the way up to 12th place? And all of a sudden start putting themselves in contention to maybe long shot, but maybe try and get themselves at least a later start position in the GCL Super Cup quarterfinal that takes place at the Prague playoffs later this year. There'll be moves down for the Saint-Tropez Pirates, the Monaco Comets, and the Scandinavian Vikings, despite a very, very nice clear for Jure Freeling and Kanan Jr. Let's get some thoughts on what has happened as far as the changes are concerned, as Lady Liberty looks over us here in New York on this 12th stage of the Global Champions League. Let's get some thoughts, let's get some reaction. We know that Rosie Turner is standing by. She's been chatting to riders, getting some coursework reaction, and I believe that she may have some reaction too on what is taking place as far as the changes are concerned. Let's catch up with Rosie and get some thoughts. Rosie, GCL round 2, talk to me about some of those big moves.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I've only literally just been given the start list for round 2, so I've been going through it. And interestingly, we don't have many rider changes today, but we do have a few horse changes to note as well. Lots of people bringing in some real superstars in to round 2. I think we want to talk about Valkenswaard United. Of course, that was a very difficult round for Marcus Enning. He now brings in Flower Girl and Gilles Thomas. As we know, he's got a huge stable of horses to choose from, all superstars themselves, and he brings in his 9-year-old Calista, who we know has been so brilliant over the last few stages. Saint-Tropez Pirates, they just have a horse change as well. And if we go further into the list, Mark, I've literally just been given this, so I am going through it at the moment. Basel Cosmopolitans actually make horse and rider changes. Zasha comes in, Marlon comes in as well, and they've got both Partner in Crime, which is Zasha's 9-year-old, who, if you remember, I think it was in London, did such a superb job and had never jumped at that level before. So it's a partnership that's really growing and clearly thriving as well, which is really exciting to see. Can Stars, again, they didn't have a bad start in round 1, just 1 down for each of them. Natalie Dean brings in a new horse there. She brings in Crescendo. If we go further into this, then we got a rider change for Mexico Amigos. Istanbul Warriors, it's going to be the same riders, Oliver Fletcher and Henrik von Eckermann. Henrik's going to bring Ileana in. We know how good Ileana can be, and Oliver Fletcher brings in Hello William, again another fantastic horse. It really seems like everyone they're wanting to fight for this on today. They want to be on top of the podium, and no more so New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, who are obviously our home team today. And we're going to have Scott Brash coming in with Hello Chedora Lady, a horse that is in such good form at the moment. And Trevor is going to stay on Highland President after that fantastic clear in round one. If we then flick over to Prague Lions, we've got Thibaut Spitz and Anna Kalnarova. They're going to be coming in again with the same horses. I've just spoken to Thibaut and he said that they had a wonderful time and it was very, like, the horses were jumping brilliantly, so that no need to change there. Riesenbeck International, actually normally we don't see very many changes from Riesenbeck International, but Marco brings in Aventador, a different horse, another superstar coming in. And lastly, if we go to the Stockholm Hearts, this is an interesting one because they've done such a wonderful job in the first round with 2 9-year-olds. Olivier Philipparts now brings in HMN Miro, who we know so well for being an incredible horse and so consistent. Nicola Philipparts brings in yet another 9-year-old. So we've got 3 9-year-olds in one team for one weekend, which is extraordinary. And he brings in Gadget Mouche. So we'll see how they do. I think we've just had a little word with them as well off camera. And they said they're really determined to be back on the top spot. So quite a few changes, mainly horse changes. I think it's going to be quite a battle into round 2, Mark.
All right, Rosie Turner, thank you very much. As you would have seen that table earlier on, there were only 2 teams that were not highlighted yellow. The yellow highlighter indicating teams that have made changes, so only the Monaco Comets and only the Prague Lions. Those 2 teams out of the entire starting field of 16 don't make changes, but everyone else, all 14 others, have decided to either make rider, as Rosie said, not too many, and then horse changes coming in to GCL round 2. Let's show you then some of those great moments from those top 3 teams. We've spoken about how these teams find themselves on double clear, all 3 of them in the afternoon. At least the GCL round 1, the first half of the day, certainly has belonged to Riesenbeck International, has belonged to the Stockholm Hearts, and has belonged to Madrid in Motion, as Marco Kutscher, Max Weishaupt, Manuel Fernandez Saro, Eduardo Alvarez Asna, and the 2 Philipparts boys in Olivia and Nicola, who put themselves now in pole position. Will they then be coming into the studio later on tonight, as the winners do every single competition? Is tonight going to be the night of the Stockholm Hearts, who then finally, after a very difficult 2025, will have the opportunity to come and stand here as stage winners? That becomes the big question. However, as we spoke to Rupert Bell a little bit earlier on today, because it is so tight at the top of the table, 7 teams separated by just a single rail, it does mean that this is not going to be easy going for the Stockholm Hearts, because if they do have a fence down and anyone around them jumps a double clear, it might be one of those afternoons where a single fence could throw you completely off of the podium. That's how dangerous things might be here coming up in GCL round 2. Let's get some thoughts then and some reaction of the course walk. We heard earlier on from Duarte Ziabra from Saint-Tropez Pirates. Now let's get the thoughts of more riders on today's course walk.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I've actually got Lara alongside of me from Scandinavian Vikings. We're not actually jumping for the team, but the team are getting ready and prepping for round 2. What are your thoughts on how the team jumped in round 1?
I think it was a good round for the team. Jur had an amazing clear round. Neil had one down with a few time faults, but I think they're going to come back better and stronger as second team. So.
How much tougher is this course compared to round 1?
The 160 is always tougher than the 155, of course. More technical, a bit bigger. But it's still very nicely built, like the first round. It looks like a nice round to jump.
We've also got these planks coming in as well. It looks quite intimidating, but I assume it's probably more of a rider frightener than a horse frightener.
Yeah, I think so. If you have a brave horse, I think it jumps easy, but you always have 1 or 2 that's going to spook for sure, so always be prepared.
Well, let's walk this line then with us and just tell us what you're thinking, because this is a bending line. You're going towards VIP. Obviously, we've got the sun as well to contend with.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
As we're walking here, Lara's just counting the steps. Every 4 strides of Lara's is 1 stride of a horse, and that's how they count to see roughly what the striding is going to be for the horses. Now, sometimes lines can be difficult and technical because it might be that there are 5 strides, but you could go on 4. I'm wondering what this is. Is this quite a long line or a short line?
To me, it walks like a normal, nice 8, okay. But with the angle, you can do 9 easily, and also if you have a weird jump on the plank, it always can go a bit not like planned. This is always a bit the line where you have a lot of space that you can go a bit 8, 9. So it's good to have a plan A and a plan B also on those lines.
And that's what's so difficult, isn't it? That people don't see that riders have got to have a plan A and a plan B. And if something goes wrong, you've got to so quickly adapt.
Yeah, I always try to have a plan A and a plan B, especially on those bending lines, because you never know how your horse is going to react, or maybe he's going to jump to the outside, to the inside. So if it's a straight line, 6, it's always straightforward, but if it's bending, it's always a bit more complicated, yeah.
You're also landing just in front of VIP here. Which way are you then turning? Are you bending then straight to the right?
Bending straight to the double then. So it's important also to have the horses with you so that they enter. It's quite a big double, so it's good that they are focused and also get out of the turn, not really focusing also only on the VIP. Yeah.
We saw quite a few faults in round 1. What do you anticipate for round 2?
I think, we had a lot of clears in the individuals, and then with the teams, a bit more pressure, more faults. I guess it would be a bit the same. I think we're going to see some individuals jumping clear, and then with the teams a bit more pressure, we're going to see a few rails. But I think it's going to be a nice course to see and to watch, and not so many heavy scores.
And have you spoken to the team about what their feelings are for round 2?
No, I let them do their job and I encourage them.
Will you be on the kiss and cry and watching them and cheering them on?
Yes, I will.
Quite right. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, Lara, thank you for chatting to us. It is going to be more technical. Of course, it is round 2. That is what we expect from the Global Champions League. It will be 160. It will be more technical. The fences are looking big. The stage is set, Mark. It's going to be a battle.
All right, Rosie Turner, thank you very much, giving us some reactions, some thoughts then as to how the course is going to play out later on this afternoon. We are standing by for the start of GCL Round 2. GCL Round 1 has been dominated by 3 teams who find themselves on double clear, but none have been better than the Phillip Arts boys for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. They are in pole position. They will be the last team to go. Let's remind you of the start list then, to give you an indication as to how the teams are going to come out in this upcoming second round. The Paris Panthers, I'm afraid, who have struggled all season long, will be the first team to come out. The yellow next to the team names indicates changes that have taken place, so only the Monaco Comets and the Prague Lions have not made changes for round 2. Surprise for Falcons-White United. They will be out very early this afternoon thanks to uncharacteristic penalties from Marcus Eining. Saint-Tropez Pirates, Basel Cosmopolitans, as well as the Cunt Stars, Monaco, Mexico Amigos and Istanbul Warriors will bring us to a half-time point, after which the second half of the field will then get ready. That starts then with the Scandinavian Vikings, works its way down to those 3 teams on double clear, 14, 15 and 16. Razorback International, Madrid in motion, and the Stockholm Hearts will be the team to catch. Is this finally going to be the afternoon in 2025 of the Stockholm Hearts, a team that in previous years has been a true championship contender, a team that in previous years have fought all the way down to the final day of a championship fight? And now all of a sudden they are talking about barely getting into a GCL Super Cup quarter-final. It does not feel normal. Hopefully that turns around today for the Stockholm Hearts. We are ready for Global Champions League Round 2. This is the Longines Global Champions Tour of New York 2025. Welcome to the show. Let's get the second round of GCL underway.